You turn that up for me, please?
Okay. All right. Thank you, Jason. We're going to begin the administration committee meeting today, November 20th. I somehow thought it was the 21st, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So November 20th, 9 a.m. We're going to start with Jeanette. Thanks, Jeanette, for joining us by Zoom.
Good morning. So I'll jump right in. I'd like approval to pay criminal court order in the amount of $195,446.79.
So moved.
Second,
Any discussion on this?
we really need to do something. Where is this coming from?
Contingency.
Contingent.
In the
There's
next
still four people,
motion.
Jeanette?
Yes, that's what was on the agenda. It was a total of four people for a total of 119 days at $1,642.41 per day.
Are there still four people though for this
Still-
month?
What do
Yeah.
you, four people in there now?
Yeah.
I don't have the bill so this is for the September. I didn't receive the October bill. We did have somebody return early October, but then we sent another one. So I'm at count of still four in there.
So we will likely not be able to take this completely out of contingency in next month's cycle. And we're gonna have to find some other way to fund it. So it'll be a little bit of a different transfer. But
I think next month might be a little bit smaller just because we got hit. They forgot to bill us for one on this bill. So there's somebody who's in there we got 2 months worth of billing for. So until I should be receiving that bill, the next bill this week. But I think it will be a little smaller just because one person they forgot to bill us for the previous month.
So my memory is we've had two previous in the $50,000 to $60,000 range. Is that right?
more than
A
that,
couple hundreds.
Couple $100,000.
Yeah.
more than
Yeah.
that.
So we've got to be nearing $400,000,
We're at 650.
We
Six-
have spent with this bill, once we pay this, we will have spent $619,188.03.
Just
That's
in
just-
this year.
And then that's through September. We still have October, November, December.
I mean, how does a county budget for this? Well, this is crazy.
And what did we budget for next year for this? Was it
I
250?
I asked for 250 for next year. When I first got here, we had like 100 in there, the budget. We went up to 150 and I've asked for 250 because we just never know. Our numbers for orders for competency exams have gone up over the past 2 years. I'm anticipating they will continue to go up.
Jeanette, what is leading that trend? What is pushing that trend towards having so many? Because we had years where we had none. And
It's all in order from the judge. The lawyers on both sides can request that a 7:30 be done based off of whatever's going on with the individual in front of the judge. The judge is the one who has to order it, and we get a lot of them from the city of Oneonta. It's where most of them come through.
City of Oneonta would be paying for it.
Well, it's also what most people.
That's,
that's, yeah.
It should be a state.
Yes, it was. That's kind of the thing. It's like
It used to pay half, right?
That's why 100,000 would go so
Yeah.
far.
I mean, if the county can't afford that, the city can't afford that.
Right.
And, I mean, that's just.
The state used to pay half, and then before that, they paid it all.
and relatively speaking, even though our expenses have increased dramatically, it's small compared
Oh, yeah.
to
But-
So
many others.
are these residents of Oneonta?
It doesn't, it's wherever the court is. So even if, say, somebody gets picked up on charges, say from New York City, it's whatever the county the court is in. So, yeah. So.
Okay,
I got more questions offline.
okay. All right, we certainly are held to this,
Hmm.
so. Unless we want to be like Lewis County.
Well, we have no
And what
choice.
happens
Yeah.
with Lewis County? What
It's still wandering through the.
So is the state going, fighting them for the funds? They
They say
just said it.
fighting, but it's gonna take years for it to.
It's litigation.
Yeah,
It's in litigation.
And they're gonna have to pay for that as well. And anyway,
Well, maybe we ought to round up some other counties and
join
join the, yeah.
not a terrible idea.
That is actually
That's what I think.
ongoing through NISAC.
Yeah,
right,
NISAC's aware.
they
Yeah.
are,
Yeah, I mean, it's,
but as far as like. Taking it to the next level.
Yeah.
That might be something
I
that,
think they're just waiting for somebody to.
So we don't pay our NISAC dues, maybe they move faster?
no, no, I would not, please don't bring. that.
It's
Let's
going
do
west.
this one thing at a time, let's decide.
At 200,000 a month, I don't know if I ought to do this.
So maybe could we ask NISAC to somebody from
Yeah.
NISAC to come by and just give us a Zoom briefing on the status of everything, at least make us aware of what's going on with
That
this
would be
thing?
Yes,
Meg?
I will reach out to some people I know at
That would be
NISAC,
If
yeah.
not, I could, and if,
Oh, yeah, actually, you could do that, yeah,
Because this is just nuts.
through your committee, or we could do it together, or I could do an email and include you on it.
yeah, why don't you do that?
Yeah,
Cause
okay.
also there's somebody from Green County who would be great to talk to.
okay,
And I can't remember her name right this very second. I'm sure she has one.
Yeah, the county administrator there is also quite vocal on this. Sean,
Sean Groden.
you know Sean.
Mhm, I know Sean,
He's head of the County Administrators Association. And this has been a big topic.
well, it's going to become more urgent, more cogent. All right, let's do the vote on the motion,
Kennedy,
yes.
McCarty,
Oh, God, this hurts. Yes.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, that motion passes, and Jeanette, your next one is the budget transfer.
Yes, the budget transfer from contingency in the amount of $195,446.79 to our criminal actions line.
Second.
Questions or discussion on this one? We'll go to a vote,
Kennedy,
yes.
McCarty,
Yes.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, that motion passes as well.
Thank you. I'm asking for approval for a waiver to not do another RFP for an EMR contract.
Can you explain that?
Yeah,
First, so moved.
Second.
second.
Okay, and this is electronic medical record. And Jeanette, you can talk a little bit about that.
Okay, so as you know, we went with Oracle like 2 years ago. We went live last October. Our contract had ended in October of last year for them, although there is a purchase order in until 2026. I've been going back and forth with our legal department as well as Oracle. They have us at a standstill right now to move ahead with the contract. Either we have to do a contract with them if we get this waiver, or we have to RFP it. I did talk to Dan Hammer in purchasing, and he said if the board gives me a waiver, we can just continue with Oracle as soon as they're ready to move ahead, or we will have to RFP, which we can end up with a different company at that point.
Well, Dan Hammer was given the blessing.
Yes, I
Yes.
forwarded that email to Monica and Denise that he said as long as the board gives a waiver, we are okay.
We should definitely do this. It's been a long, difficult, this transition from our old one. And
Yeah, I mean,
we're starting to get there.
RFPs are no fun, and then you end up with a mixed bag at the end.
You're happy with Oracle?
they've invested a lot of time in Oracle. So whether the happiness factor may not be there, but it's working and you're progressing, is that fair to say?
Well, I'm gonna steal a statement from my deputy director. We're making lemonade out of lemons.
Okay,
So,
all right. And so
Do other counties use Oracle?
no,
What do other counties use?
no other cat, they're all different. I actually have a spreadsheet that was sent from the conference where every county indicated what record EMR they use, and they're all different records. I want to say the most popular, I think, is Prosperity.
but not to say that that wouldn't involve a lot of moving, like understanding the archived records, that some of these things are all back in a different form. And then they have to translate them into the new form. Is that,
Well,
so there's a lot of moving parts on this.
So our legacy is QuickDoc, and they were going they were rebranding. Their rebrand is Prosperity. The old records that are in QuickDoc to go to Prosperity would also be work like it is with Oracle. From my understanding, it might be a little bit easier, but we're already set up with Oracle. It was a lot of money and a lot of time to get here.
So proceeding with the lemonade.
Yeah, it's the best we can do at this point.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. Do we have any other questions or discussion?
Kennedy,
Yes.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur.
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, that motion passes.
Hey, thank you. Asking to create, fund, and fill the psychiatric nurse practitioner position. This was in my 2025 budget, but I believe it was put on a watch list, so I'd like to move forward with making that available.
Second,
We discussed this.
Yeah, we.
we have a candidate?
I did have somebody who was interested about a year ago, but because it wasn't, it was put on the watch list. If this gets approved and put out, I will reach out to them and see if they are still interested.
Could I make a suggestion?
Of course.
This is just my opinion, with the difficulty we have filling positions in your area. If you have somebody you know that might be interested, even though you're on a watch list, you might let us know that so we can put a higher priority on it.
Well,
That's just my opinion.
That's what she,
That's kind of,
that's kind of what happened.
so this position is in the 26 budget. Should we approve the 26 budget? So.
In the way we normally,
Right,
in the way we've done
yeah,
it.
understood.
I don't think this is in the 26 budget. I think this was chosen to not go forward at the budget meetings. But Jeanette did say that it is fully offset by revenue. So if we put it in, it would be budget neutral, but I don't believe it's in there currently.
So we do a
It's not
budget
part of
bond.
the 3.7.
It is, no, if I remember correctly,
Let's double
during
check that.
the budget meetings,
It's
not part of the
position.
It has not been put in position control.
It was never created by a resolution, so it doesn't.
Well, that's what she's asking for now. is
Yeah, to create, fund and fill. I thought that when we went through that, I feel like we did say yes, this in the budget meetings. But anyway, Alan, if you could just confirm that, and it's
Yep.
budget neutral, so we can.
And I have a question on another position in another department I want to ask you. if I
Okay.
remember.
Okay.
As Dan said, we're actually putting it in the budget with
Right.
this action.
Right.
So,
And if it's funded, what percent funded?
It would be 100% funded. It's all revenue. It's a revenue maker position.
I don't think we get, well, let's know
no,
because
we
it's-
won't need to do anything. We
Right.
just will create the
and you
position
get reimbursed.
and it will go into the budget according to the new rules we established
Got
for
it.
26.
Okay.
And it should, because it's budget neutral. it
Yeah,
should
we have a
not
motion
cost
second.
more.
But with the difficulty that we have hiring mental health professionals.
And there's
Wanna
a standard
Move ahead with it. Okay, are we ready to vote? Any other questions? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and vote.
Kennedy,
Yes.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini,
Aye.
Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, that motion passes.
Okay, thank you. So the next one, I'll just go through all of them. It's the M&C job titles for reclassification, which would be the supervising psychologist who is currently at a grade 8 will move to a grade 9. The addiction recovery service program manager, who's currently at a grade 7, will move to a grade 8. And then a supervising social worker, and those are 2 positions. One is currently vacant though, would go from a grade 6 to a grade 7.
So moved.
Second.
And we talked about this at the budget meeting as well, so these are. Thank you, Wendy, for reassuring they are in the pipeline. Is there any questions or discussion with regards to these? They
So
were-
is this part of Penny's proposal to do away with the cushion as far as raising people up a step
No, this is separate.
separate?
This is to do with the job descriptions and having people work within their prescribed job description and not do stuff that's outside of their job description. And also to allow for one of those employees to be able to do more things because they're gonna be at the higher level.
Yes.
So. I think in all, it's a positive for them.
So because they get changed, will they also go through if the step increase as well, do they automatically get that as well too?
Yes, they would go to the proper step based off of the time that they're in the title. Most, these people though, are all at the highest step right now, so it actually won't affect their step.
So they can't go to any higher
Yeah.
steps. But that does happen. After 6 years?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we change it.
Okay. Are we ready to vote? We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, that motion passes.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have, but I would like to say if anybody does have questions or concerns that I can help clarify over the criminal court stuff, please feel free to reach out to me. We can set up a time to meet or have a discussion.
Okay, thanks, Jeanette.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
thank you.
may-
Have a good
Okay.
day.
Okay, thanks. All right, Lisa, Sarah. Come on up if you like. Whatever. Walk forward if you wish to come.
I'd like to start off with some contracts. We're gonna split them up between November and December, because we have so many. These are all pending the 2026 budget approval. Would you like to vote individually or go? with
In
these
the,
Individual?
in the committee meeting, we did.
Did you do them as block?
Yeah. it's
Yeah,
not-
these two.
Nothing new. Nothing new.
Anything that wants to have further scrutiny, we can take outside of the block, but if we can do these at all.
So the first one is a contract with Cherry Valley Springfield School for one caseworker, and the school pays a 17% local cost. The next one is for Code Blue 2025-2026 year for $350,700. This is a resolution to utilize the funding. Next one is contract with Catholic Charities, Delaware, Otsego, and Schoharie counties for daycare registration and inspection. The contract amount is $93,618. The allocation is $98,544. DSS keeps the piece for $4,926 for administrative expenses. Next one is for Dr. Silverman for psychological services for $64,989. 2026. The next one's community maternity services for a 1-year extension for 2026 in the amount of $210,389. The next one is Crossroads Emergency Housing Contract for 2026 is a 1-year extension. They're asking for an increase on this one from $60 to $65 per night for the 14 beds. If they go over that amount, their cost is $50 a night. There's no change to that amount.
Did you say 14 beds?
Yeah, that's what the amount we contract for. They often have more than. The next one is a cooperative agreement with IT for 2026, not to exceed $322,288. Next one is probation PINS contract for 2026, not to exceed $50,000. This is for one officer. Next one's the DA fraud contract for 2026, not to exceed $78,987. That's for 2 fraud investigators. And then the veterans contract for 2026, not to exceed $41,500. And then I'm not gonna bring the Office for the Aging Medicaid contract this time. I have to revise it. The amount's incorrect. Here, so I have to go back to HSC for that
It's
one.
gonna be more than that, huh?
Yes. And then the next one's Office for the Aging for Heat for 25-26 here for $50,538.
We have 53 foot.
Agree.
Yeah, 53,538 for the heat.
I'll motion them contingent on the 2026 budget.
Second.
Any questions or discussion?
Yeah, I do have one. How many fraud investigations do the DA do in a year? Roughly.
I'd have to get back to you on that. I don't have the number with me. But I can,
What warrants an investigation? What? I know that, but I mean, what kicks that in? How
so
do you
the
know?
examiners notice something's not quite right, and they would do a referral to the fraud unit. They also do motel checks for us, secure transports if we need them.
That seems awful low to me for. Your DA doing fraud investigation. I mean, makes you wonder how many they're.
Probably not full time.
They're both part-time,
Yeah.
3 days a week, with retired police officers, yeah.
Without a higher scale.
Dr. Silverman, is he local? PG?
No, he's downstate, but he travels up here. Do these evaluations for us,
What is community maternity services?
parenting ed.
Parenting ed?
Yeah, parenting
Through-
education.
Like Opportunities for Otsego?
No, they're the wrong.
That's their own business, community maternity services. That's the name of it.
Their own thing, their
Yeah.
separate entity.
Not for profit?
I think they are affiliated with Catholic Charities, but they're
Yes.
Or not for profit?
offshoot, yeah.
And is the school contract just for 1 year? The trade?
Yes.
That's the only school we do?
Oneana also.
And then what are the VA services that covers the 41 funds?
So those are referrals back and forth. We refer to the VA if if a veteran applies for our services and vice versa. So if he meets with a veteran that needs DSS services, we refer back and forth. Depends on the number of referrals that we have. Yeah.
Have a consensus on this? Okay, level of comfort. We're gonna go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty.
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini. Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, that motion passes. These resolutions are approved pending 2026 budget approval.
Thank you. We have a current resolution amendment for Opportunities for Otsego Transportation Initiative contract. They were allowed to roll over $6,463 in funding from last year, which then brings their contract amount up to $20,496. So because it's over 20,000, committee and board approval.
So moved.
You have any questions or discussion on that amendment? The vote, hearing no discussion.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur.
Aye.
Martini. Marietta absent, Keaton.
Thank you. And then next is just the budget modification to go with that for the $6,460.
So moved.
Second. Any questions? We'll go to vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur.
Aye.
Martini. Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, that motion passes.
Thank you.
I have two questions, sure. Has SNAP funding been restored?
Yes.
Yes, was there a gap? In Otsego County?
Well, late this month
Okay.
going out, but the governor started sending in help first before the federal government.
Okay. And heat. I know that that has been put off until,
We are waiting for the funding to be transferred to the state before we can open up the heat program.
Okay.
So the state is gonna let us know as soon as they receive the
because it's cold.
funding. Yes.
Hopefully November 24th is what the goal is. or-
They were hoping they'd receive the money by November 24th.
Thanksgiving. Oh, no, that's not Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Monday.
Days before,
Monday.
yeah, yeah, hopefully.
Yeah,
That happens.
It's Thursday and I haven't.
right.
Would that affect aging? We just did the heat thing.
Yes.
for the-
Yeah, it's all the same.
Yes.
It's all of them, okay.
Yeah. Yep, so. Okay. Sure.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Have a good holiday.
Yes, you too.
So before we go on to the next, I have a clarification on the Oracle contract. What you approved was just the ability to not do an RFP. Next month, Jeanette will come with a contract amount and term for the Oracle contract. So I just want to make sure you see this again, but all you approved was skipping the RFP process today. That Denise was on the phone with me,
Right, so we didn't,
wanted me to clarify.
we
that.
didn't resolve to enter a contract with them, we just resolved
Yeah.
to not compete it because
Right.
of the investments to date, and Dan Hammer said that we could.
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you, Steve.
Pardon me.
Good morning. I have a resolution request to establish the standard workday and reporting days for the New York State and local employees retirement system for a certain county official. This is for a part-time assistant public defender who has been here over a year, has never reported his time, and now he has finally submitted his documentation to be able to start receiving service
So
credit.
moved.
So
So this on him or her?
Him.
To turn the stuff in. turn the
Yes.
tape.
the process is, we determine whether or not they, part-time elected appointed officials, according to the state's regulation, are supposed to, because they're not in the time, system, they have to provide a log to me of their record of activities. When they do not do that, I ask them again, they continue not to. Eventually, the retirement system gets involved, sends them a letter saying, you haven't supplied a log, you're not receiving service credit. If you don't produce a log, you'll be suspended from the retirement system.
And they send you.
Correct. Some of them, some of them.
So it's not on us, it's on them.
It is not, but
Correct.
the regulation says we have to adopt what they provide to us, and I do the calculation via resolution. Has to be posted, and I have to supply an affidavit, and then it gets submitted to the state.
You're ready to vote? Okay, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Martini. Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, that motion passes.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. Okay, moving on to Sheriff Devlin. Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning, are you there?
There
hear
you
me?
are. Yep, we can see and hear you. Thank you.
Okay, great. I just got a couple things this morning. I'm looking for approval to purchase 6 radar units in the amount of $13,000.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or discussion? Hearing none, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Yes.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini,
Aye.
Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, that motion passes.
I have a request for contingency funds in the amount of $19,000 for jail food to get us through the remainder of the year.
So moved.
Second.
Do we have enough contingency funds to do that?
Yeah, we should. I thought this was what we're gonna fund out of the enterprise stuff.
This is for, jail food.
This is jail food, not the,
The next,
repair.
The next one's the enterprise lease.
Okay, all right.
oh, were you gonna move some of the money from the enterprise lease over to fund the jail?
No.
food? That's
No.
not, okay, all right.
No.
Sorry.
That was,
Okay.
you want me to explain that? Okay,
I thought I read
So I
it.
thought subsequent to the PSLA
not my understanding.
meeting, I thought I got an email, or Alan got an email saying we didn't need to take anything out of contingency. I guess I
That
misread
was for
that.
that was for the repair line for vehicles.
Correct, yeah, it was the enterprise.
Enterprise.
Got it. Okay. All right. I'm sorry for the confusion then.
Okay. Do we have a motion and a second on the jail food?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have any other questions? or
So,
discussion?
well, I thought this was a resolved issue, so, do we need to discuss that or what?
No, I
We're
mean,
good?
it's 19,000. We definitely have 19,000.
Okay, we're good then.
Okay,
Okay.
It's the next 200,000. We're gonna have a
Whatever,
problem.
whatever.
okay.
You know,
Um,
it adds up to real money.
so we're gonna vote on the jail food request for contingency funds to pay $19,000 to jail food. That's what we're gonna vote on now. Ready?
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini,
Aye.
Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, that motion passes. Okay.
There is a, on your agenda, a request for $55,000 in funds, but we're rescinding that request.
Okay,
Oh,
Just to clear the air, so.
Not losing my mind.
okay.
No,
All right.
you already did.
Already did.
Yeah.
The next item is, requesting, committee approval to award an RFP to SMRT Architects and Engineering for architectural and engineering services. This was approved at Public Safety to move forward to your committee.
So moved.
second.
Okay,
And this is for what?
yeah,
This is, okay, so this is, for a proposed, and it's nowhere near a done deal yet. It's for a proposed jail project. So the immediate need for this, firm is to, determine the location based on security and operational needs on the new parcel where a facility will be located. So that area is reserved and not touched. So if we, at some point in time, move forward with the project, we have that already designated. This is,
So all they're doing is just figuring out where it's
Well,
gonna set.
it's a 3-year contract.
I know, but they're not gonna design the jail itself.
Not, well, no, because we haven't motioned that. We have
Well,
not.
So there's gonna be some confusion on this. It might be useful to be in executive session
Okay,
for this discussion.
oh, okay.
Would you agree or
Yes.
Sheriff?
or not, Sheriff?
I'm here. Can I be in executive session?
We can call you. Is
we have
that
to
good
call you
enough?
by phone.
Yeah, we have to
Yeah.
close the Zoom down.
Ridiculous, but whatever.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
Difference make seeing here, you can't see.
okay. Do we have a motion to move into executive session for
Take that motion.
the reason of medical, financial credit, or employment history of a particular person or corporation, that one?
Yes,
Or matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation.
yes.
So
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we are now in executive session. We're gonna call Sheriff Devlin and have the county administrator be in this session.
I'll call you. Sheriff.
Recording stopped.
All right.
Okay, do
Volume
we
is
have a motion to,
So I'll amend my motion.
no, we have to return to open session.
Right, sorry, a motion to come back into regular setting.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. We're back in open session and we have a resolution that Representative Wilbur will present for us.
Madam Chair, I request permission to amend my original motion, original motion to approve SMRT as the RFP with the condition that we will amend the resolution at the board meeting with the correct legal interpretation and wording from our purchasing agent
To allow for us to phase the projects
as
and pay.
as respect to phasing the project
That, okay,
and use of certain elements within the RFP.
right. Okay, we have a second.
Second.
Any other discussion? No more discussion. We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur.
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, that motion passes. So Sheriff?
That's all I have. That's all I have for the committee today. I wish you all happy Thanksgiving next week and don't eat too much turkey.
Okay.
You gonna be on that meeting tomorrow, Sheriff?
Yes, are you?
I'm gonna try.
Okay. Is Ed there? I see Ed there. Ed, you gonna be able to be on that meeting too? For one of you at least?
Yeah, Hannah.
Dan Hammer.
At 11.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send a Zoom link
Please.
for everybody.
He might be. You got him for a half hour.
Okay. Okay, so look for your Zoom links, Sheriff, and
Okay.
see you tomorrow.
Thank you very
Okay.
much. Have a good day. Take care.
Okay. All right. Rich Rimmer,
Morning, everybody.
good morning. Okay, you can go right ahead with your agenda.
Okay, these were all approved at Public Works last week. Request a motion to renew Resolution 369 of 2023 for the hiring of 3 temporary HMEO1 positions through 2026. These funds were included in the 26 budget.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or discussion?
Yeah, we need to have a discussion.
Okay.
Rich, we started negotiations with CSEA last week and there was some issues about some steps, so I'm kind of thinking maybe we should postpone that till we get a new contract. I mean, you're good till the end of the year, but
as long as we have a contract by the end of the year, because we have people in those positions that will be out of work.
yeah, but they're at the grade now, what? The high grade?
Correct.
And they will stay there as long as, what happened?
They'll stay there until the end of the year. The current resolution expires on December 31st.
Yeah, but you've already hired them, right?
They're working.
Yeah.
And those aren't temporary positions, are
They're
they?
temporary. These are temporary positions. Yes.
Oh, right. I didn't even.
So can we amend the motion to hire based on the current contract?
I just, you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what it's talking about. Maybe the motion is to approve only for those people currently employed and not any new ones until a new labor agreement is reached.
Well, that could be years.
No.
Well,
actually,
I guess I'm missing something here. We put the money in the budget. We don't have enough people as it is to plow. If somebody comes through the door, I'm not gonna be able to hire them.
It's more to do with this contract brings them in at a certain level, right? And what if we reach.
This contract, how the hell am I gonna say this?
Take a minute and figure it.
I think gotta be in an executive session. I'm sorry. We're gonna talk He needs to understand,
what's going on.
Okay,
uh,
so I think the contract is potentially gonna be changed by negotiations. Is that fair to say?
yes.
Yes,
Okay. And it would be changed in a way that makes it so that the people who are coming on board would have to come on board with the new contract, not the old one. Is that fair? That, without going into executive session.
So
I just want to try to let Rich
can I
know.
just ask a question here?
Yeah,
Why can't we hire at the current level? Subject to, the contract's not gonna go down. Can only go up. So why can't we hire under the current conditions?
still the new one.
well, he isn't, he's already got people in there.
No, I understand that. So hire at, continue and hire at current levels. Subject to change based on any new contract acceptance.
I think that works.
That seems to cover all the bases.
Yes.
Has anyone talked to you, Rich, about okay,
And that would also cover if the if the contract is retroactive or not, they would all be inclusive,
It could replace any
Right.
previous contract.
just like it would be for a normal employee. You're hiring at the current levels or continuing at the current levels if they're already employed
Until a new contract.
until such time a new contract is enacted or accepted.
Does that give you some comfort, Keith?
I guess, yeah,
Rich?
I probably should have called Rick.
I mean, that's just normal, that's just
Yeah,
normal.
I'm fine with that. I don't know what's going on.
Rich is-
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Rich is into the trucks.
As long as I don't lose the guys that I have, and if somebody comes through the door, we can bring them on. then
You
I'm fine.
continue on and hire at the current levels.
Yep.
Subject to
Reflective of
change of a new contract.
Until a new contract is in.
Yeah,
yeah, and when a new contract is in, this special authority theoretically won't be needed.
correct,
Correct.
Then,
right. It'll be inclusive.
is that
Oh, okay. Okay.
your understanding?
I guess I'm not a lawyer.
I mean, that's just normal.
I just didn't wanna, you know what I want?
You don't want to have a gap.
Well,
Somebody out.
Or
it's tricky.
I guess the thinking, and I remember we sort of discussed this a little bit, kind of time, was maybe we should pause this authority.
Oh, can't pause it.
No pause.
Can't pause
But,
it.
and that made sense to me, but I
was
think temporary.
I wasn't in the impression that as of 2026, what was already in there was gonna be gone if we didn't do this.
All right, I motion we go back to summer weather.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're being sarcastic. I mean, really,
No, we really need to.
you don't know what the
Sure.
hell you're talking about.
Okay.
you see what I.
Representative
You
McCarty,
see,
Huh?
are we good?
Yeah, whatever you worded is fine.
Okay.
Do you want me to word it?
Wordsmith
No,
it
you-
about,
unless you want,
Loretta
it's
was
okay.
taking notes, right?
Part thing, can you
Listen to
follow
it.
this?
Are you good with that?
Listen to it, yeah.
Okay,
Okay. So that was your motion
yes,
to renew, and make it be consistent with
correct.
whatever gets passed in the new contract
Hiring at present,
negotiation.
at current levels.
Okay,
If and when a contract is approved, that would automatically take over.
and do you have a second for that? Do we have a second? Okay, Michelle. All right, any more discussion? Okay, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini, Marietta, absent Keaton.
Okay, that motion passes.
Okay, next one, I'd like to request a motion to extend resolution 323 of 2024 through 2026 and increase the not to exceed amount to $2 million for the bridge replacement project on County Route 58A. This will be used in CHIPS funds.
I'll motion that contingent upon budget approval.
Second?
Sorry.
Okay, we have a second.
Drifted off.
Questions or discussion on the resolution? Hearing none, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty.
Aye.
Wilbur.
Okay.
Martini. Marietta, absent Keaton.
Okay, so that motion passes.
Request a motion to amend resolution 314 of 2025 to increase the not to exceed amount by $65,876.54 for the standby generator, electric wiring and panels out of our D513252500. That's our renovations line.
Motion.
Second.
Questions or discussion?
We have the funds on that now, right?
Correct.
So you don't have to worry about budgeting. We already have that.
Correct. Yeah, this will be 25 funds.
We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty.
Aye.
Wilbur.
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta, absent Keaton.
Okay, so that motion passes.
Request a motion to amend resolution 313 of 2025 to add the purchase of a sod loader at a cost not to exceed 380,000 out of our CHIPS funds.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, do we have any questions or discussion? Hearing none, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty.
Aye.
Wilbur.
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta, absent Keaton.
Right.
Okay, that motion passes.
That's all I got.
Okay, Rich.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Coming up, we have Tammy Reed.
Good morning.
Adrian, good morning.
I just have our contracts for 2026 on the agenda. So two of the contracts that we're requesting 1-year extensions for are already in place. One is for Trinity Services. That request is to increase from 655,000 to 675,000. And the other 1-year extension will be for a registered dietitian with no changes to that amount.
So moved.
Questions or discussion? We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty.
Aye.
Wilbur. Martini.
Aye.
Marietta, absent Keaton.
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes.
And then the rest of the contracts are just continuations. We'll be doing additional 1-year contracts basically with all of our home care agencies. And then, our PERS units and things like that. So there's no changes to any of those. The one addition will be a sub award to ORHA. And that will be in the amount of $200,000. That's allowing us to reestablish our home modification and home repair program with them.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or discussion on the 1-year contracts? Hearing none, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty. Oh, absent. Wilbur.
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta, absent Keaton.
Okay, that motion is approved. Those contracts are approved.
That's
Thank
it. Thank you.
Thank you. See you soon. All right. Steve, County Administrator.
Okay, we've got a little bit extra, this time. The first item is, budget transfer from contingency for $270,000. This is to cover overpayments from Medicaid to the county for various services. In our estimates of the contingent balance, I've already worked this in. So we're seeking approval for this.
How much is that?
270 plus some.
So we had a motion and a second.
Did you say Medicaid over?
I did.
So they paid us more than we should have done.
Right.
We have to pay it back. Okay.
So this is part of the self-identifier, right?
Yes, it is. There may be additional overpayments that we will have to pay out in the coming year. not directly with Medicaid, but with other, providers that were paid with Medicaid, but there are ongoing negotiations about that.
Okay. Does anyone have any other questions or discussion on this payment? Budget transfer, I should say, from contingent. Okay, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Abstaining, no doubt.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, so that motion passes.
The next two items are the various contracts we use, in the office with Vanetsky and with ClearGov and also the strategic planning. All of these are in the budget, either in our office or in the Office of Planning. And this would be for the 26 period. The Vanetsky one, the not to exceed is 35,000. I believe the actual cost will be 33. And the not to exceed for the ClearGov stuff will be 45,000.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or discussion on these? Okay. We will go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, so that one, those are approved. That motion passes.
Item 4 on your agenda, enterprise leases for 26. We're gonna have to pull that. We have some information from enterprise we haven't yet gotten from them. So I'm gonna move on to item 6, which is
About 5.
What are we looking for from Enterprise? What information don't we have?
It's so this is the resolution for new vehicles for 2026, which is just the sheriff's office. And there's the vehicle cost and the aftermarket. Enterprise hasn't been able to get all of the aftermarket pricing to us yet, so. Once we.
For outfitting the vehicle.
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. I was just wondering what was missing. All right. Thanks, Alan.
So the vehicles are in the pipeline, but the
Oh, yeah.
ag part is
Correct.
still to be determined. Okay,
Yes.
all right. So next, Steve?
I was gonna skip, but as long as Alan is talking, why don't you talk about the compliance resolution that we're seeking, Alan?
Sure. So back when we brought some of the policies earlier in the year, within the policies, we had Christian Sepp from IT listed as the HIPAA privacy and security officer. Personnel would like an official resolution naming him to that position, so he'll be responsible for making sure we're complying with HIPAA and other privacy laws, risk assessment, and so forth.
Okay, we have a motion to do so.
So, second,
Questions or
this-
discussion?
person has the expertise for that, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he was recommended by Brian for the position,
He's the
and
IT security guy.
yes, he is in that realm of activity.
Got it.
Okay. And that's, so this just kind of codifies him into that role.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, anything else? We'll go to a vote. There being no further discussion.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur, Martini. Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, that motion passes.
Item 6 is just various minor budget modifications and transfers that I approved over the course of the last month. That's just for your information. And then it's my understanding that we are gonna do something for the Veterans Office. They at IGA did a transfer from community services to veterans to reflect the Joseph Dyer grant, which veterans is now taking over managing as opposed to community services. Now, I believe the dollar amount is 68,000,
Yep, $68,700.
and that would be moving from what budget line to what budget line?
So it's a budget modification, revenue is increasing and that's A 6510-437-101. And the expense line that is increasing is A 6510-547-866.
I'll motion
We've been working on this
Thank you
for
for
a while.
including that.
that. What services does that cover?
Pardon me?
What services does that cover?
It's
So that's for-
outreach for the veterans.
Yeah, veterans to do special events, outreach, dinners,
Activities.
activities.
Socialization. Group things to keep them individuals from being isolated.
Awesome.
Do we also have to do Phil's increase? Or does this cover the transfer? Does this cover that?
That comes out of this
That comes out of.
And
Do we have to prove that to get to?
administrative function. I think once the money is in his department, he would have to draw down for that from the grant.
Right.
Yes. That's my understanding. We're just,
Making it available to, this moves it in his department to become available to be spent on, with his, like, oversight. And then his administrative piece for like his extra hours and
Right,
those kinds
he
of
can do
things,
up to 15
That
extra hours.
he would bill the grant for those.
So that doesn't need a separate approval here.
it may need a personnel approval and he's got to work through that process, so.
Well, I'd like to have it approved today so that if personnel comes back and says that they need it approved, that it's approved here today. Because we approved it in IGA.
Can you motion that so we can?
Yeah, I'd make a motion to approve that when the Director of Veteran Affairs uses the wire grant as under his separate hours from his workday, that he can take those funds.
May I take a stab?
Let me-
at a
I'll second it.
resolution?
Oh, okay.
Just taking a stab at it.
This will probably be worse, so. You were probably.
So the
right,
resolution
but-
it is right now that we have.
We can always
So
amend
this
it.
is the second
We're
resolution.
supposed to have a
This would be
motion
a
second to
second one.
discuss it. so.
Okay,
Second resolution, that the committee supports and approves the paying of an additional stipend to the Veterans Office Director to be funded from the Joseph
Yes.
Dyer grant.
Thank you.
So I'll second that if you amend your motion.
That sounds perfect. Thank you.
I'll second.
Sorry.
Thank
okay,
you.
so.
Loretta, you really up for this thing?
She's
It's today.
for rewatching.
Yeah, thank you.
So the first one that we're gonna do was motioned and seconded to move the
Oh, yeah.
Dwyer grant from community services into veteran services. Is that right? See, that's
Yeah.
first. Okay, so that's what we're gonna vote on first.
16.
Okay, Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini, Marietta absent, Keaton.
Hi.
Okay, that motion passes. So now our second motion is, I'm just thinking of
Additional resolution.
the additional resolution is that the committee approves of
Stipend.
stipend to be paid to the Director of Veteran Services for additional hours worked through the Joseph Dwyer grant. Okay, and that had a motion and a second. And we'll vote when you're ready.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur.
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta absent, Keaton.
Hi.
Okay, that motion passes.
I hate to ask, but how do you figure what the stipend is?
It's a maximum of 15 hours, so he has to show his hours that he did, what he did, and then it's based on his pay. So,
So he's an hourly rate?
so
For
Penny,
purposes of the grant.
yeah, Penny will give him that.
Okay.
So he has to, when he gets that fund from the grant, he has to submit all his documentation on what the events were in his time. And he can only do a maximum of 15 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, total?
No, not total.
Just to
Oh.
be paid for
Just
it
to get-
on the stipend.
Okay.
But it's all,
He
it has to
can't
be,
do 30 hours and charge 30 hours. He can only charge 15 up to the 68.7.
Got it.
Okay.
All right. Anybody figure? Hold on.
Sorry for that, Bodge.
Okay. Are we ready to move on to Department of Health? Heidi,
Hello.
good morning.
The first thing I have is a transfer to move $20,000 from preschool transportation to EI education.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or discussion on the early intervention? Okay, hearing none, we'll go for a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur.
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, that motion passes.
Thank you. The next is I have a request to accept grant funds for the Children with Special Needs Healthcare Needs Community Accessibility and Inclusion Grant for a time period of 10/1/25 through 9/30/26 and a total amount of $31,847.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or discussion?
Where's that grant come from?
New York State Department of Health.
Okay. Any other discussion? We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur.
Aye.
Martini. Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, that motion passes.
Thank you. That's all I had.
Okay, Heidi, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Denise. Morning, Denise.
Hi, good morning. Requesting to go into an executive session to discuss proposed pending or current litigation.
Okay, we have a motion to enter executive session for proposed pending or current litigation. So
moved.
That's
okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Now, in executive session again.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.
Okay, could we have a motion to return to open session?
So moved. Well,
Second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're now back in open session. Gonna go ahead with building services agenda.
Okay. First thing, look for the solid waste. Municipal solid waste bid reference, gov dash 021 dash 25 to be awarded for solid waste systems. New York LLC for an annual amount of $7,920, not to exceed $23,760 for a 3-year term, beginning on January 1st, 2026. This will provide solid waste and recycling for the following Otsego County locations: Oleana Satellite Office Building 242, the COB, Central Kitchen, Meadows Office Complex, and the County Highway Department at 20 Linden Ave. Local funding from various contracted budget lines from various buildings. That's for
So move.
Second.
Okay, and we saw that during the budget process. I remember having this discussion about paying to get the garbage collected at each building location.
Actually, it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Substantial. Yeah. No one else bid, and then they came in like 5,000 less a year than we were paying.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was.
That's a good thing.
So we want to
Okay,
get this signed.
all right, yeah, so we have a motion, 1 second.
Before you change your mind, man. You don't want to go out for a second bid?
Hurry up, Ed.
Okay, Loretta, we will vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini, Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, that motion passes.
Next item, seeking approval for Elevated to repair the elevator at 242 Satellite Office Building by replacing the hydraulic tank unit and power unit for an amount not to exceed $28,897.60. Lotus Elevator submitted a quote for $37,037.25, and the D Elevator quoted for $38,034 for the same repair.
So move.
Second.
Questions or discussion on awarding the repair? Hearing none, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini,
Aye.
Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, that motion passes. And then
Oh.
budget transfers.
I have, 3 budget transfers, connected, directly connected with that. The first one is, COB renovations, A1625.52 to be moved to 242 contracts, A1622.54 9,000 for an amount of $5,230.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on that? We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini,
Aye.
Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, so that budget transfer is approved.
And the next one is the same. Go forward towards the elevator tank, it's old jail renovations. A1623.52 5,000. Moving to 42 contracts, A1622.54 9,000 for an amount of $16,000.
So moved. Okay, do we have any discussion on that one? We'll go for a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini,
Aye.
Marietta absent, Keaton.
Right. Okay, that motion is approved.
And the final transfer for the elevator tank unit is Central kitchen renovations, A1628.5 to 5,000, moving to 402 contracts, A1622.54, 9,000 for amount of $938.
Okay, we have to consider in a second. Any questions or discussion? We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini, Marietta, absent Keaton.
Okay, so that motion is approved.
And my final transfer is the continuation of the emergency generator repair for the Meadows 911 generator. For an amount of $6,439 and courthouse renovations, A1620.525020 to Meadows contracts, A1630.54 9,000.
How much was that?
The amount is $6,439.
We have a motion?
Make that.
Second?
Second.
Questions or discussion? We'll vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini, Marietta, absent Keaton.
Aye.
Okay, that motion is approved.
Okay, just gonna have a discussion on the fast track these transfers, because we can't order the elevator parts till after get a purchase order till after the 4th. And the purchase order deadline's the 25th, next Tuesday, for this and our generator repair. Discussed with Alan to chat with Steve about letter of intent. Would that be the best way to Happy to do that. move forward with that? And if we have any problem with the purchase order deadline, we've talked to Dan. Okay, then, yeah, then. For certain high priority items, they can flip them in. The deadline is to make sure that they can actually, in Onondaga, actually do all their work by the end of the year. So
Right.
we could probably slip one. Otherwise, we wait 2 more weeks to order the parts for
Right.
both of these items. So. Right, yeah, I'm happy to do a letter of intent. I'll get that ready
Great.
for you today. Good, I'll probably sign tomorrow morning, so just work with Alan and we'll get it signed. As always. Yes. Yep. All right,
Thanks, Tim.
thanks.
Okay, appreciate it. All right. Personnel Department, Wendy. Morning, Wendy.
So I just have 2 things on the agenda. The first one was, as discussed in the budget meetings, the process of the MMC salary tables and going from, 1 step every 2 years to 1 step per year. And we just wanted to adjust the policy and, make that aware of the change or put it on the record, I guess, that we wanted to change the policy.
All this, of course, is factored into the.
Depends on how the budget is approved, and it's in the budget, like you said.
So,
Second.
questions or discussion? Those are just to codify what we've approved going
Yes.
into the budget, so that then we can actually do it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So actually, how
Alright.
many people we talking about?
I believe it was,
Fifth,
for 26, it was 59
Yeah, 59.
out of 103.
yes.
Okay. Do we have any other questions or discussion on this? We definitely did talk about this a lot. So hearing no other discussion, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Yes.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini, Marietta, absent Keaton.
All right.
Okay, so that motion is approved.
Okay, the only other thing on my agenda was we had a 207C that will not need to go into executive session. The person had no lost time. It was just for medical purposes. So, yeah. Yeah. And I talked to Steve for a second about this, but just to, so I know my next step to move forward. I have to establish the salaries for MNC for a resolution. Should I be establishing those salaries? Or you said to establish them, like present it like we're moving forward with the process that we just got approved? The one
As for the budget that we have.
Yeah.
We are doing,
Okay.
so
Okay.
yes. Well, put it this way, it's in the
Yes,
tentative
it was
budget,
in the
but I
That's all
think we
contingent
can,
upon the budget approval.
Right.
yeah, yeah.
So I got a question. These 59 people, are they still gonna get the same raise that the other
Yeah.
CSCA get?
Yes.
I don't think that's right. That's,
At their higher pay too.
huh?
At the higher pay too.
Yeah.
Well, because there's a table, so they'll just move, the table is created in the system with the percent that we're told to increase the salaries by, and then they're moved at the step on that table based off of either whichever process we're going with.
Mhm.
Because the
Take it
system,
home.
the system can't have multiple table, it'd be all manual entries if you separated everything out. So.
I understand what you're saying, but my
Right.
sense was the consensus was that we were gonna go forward with it. Certainly, that was the impression that most of the department heads walked out with on that day.
Well, I'm sure they did. But I just don't. I just can't give a step, which I have no idea how much it is, $1,000 or $2,000. And then get a 3.5% raise on top of that. I just don't. I mean, it should be an option whether you want the step or you want the raise.
It is common practice everywhere that there are step increases.
That's the way it worked with me.
Yeah, and the cost of living. What often happens is they let the steps go forward, but the cost of living rates is pared back in times of
Can I make a comment here?
permit.
There's a difference between a step and a percentage cost of living raise for two different issues. You're giving a cost of living raise based on the economy and et cetera, et cetera. The step is based on, okay, you've been here another year, you gain that much more experience. So we're taking you up another step.
And they do step out after
Yeah.
6 years,
Yeah.
they hit a step from which there will be no further stepping.
Right. And that's why only 50.
I'm not saying they should give.
There are some that will get the cost of living will not move up a step.
Yes,
Correct.
there is.
That's what I'm saying.
Several.
Yes,
That not every one of them is getting both.
that's correct.
Your
59.
your long-term employees would only be getting the cost of living, or anybody that was just hired this year would only be getting the cost of living
Yeah.
because they.
Yeah,
have
but if
to
they
bring-
were hired this year, they were brought in at a higher step.
Not a lot of them. A lot of them started at step one. We have a new person in our office that started at step one this year.
Yeah, I
There's only
started,
a handful that were brought in at higher step.
I started with step one, even though I had 7 years experience. That should have maybe put me at a step 6.
Right.
Nope, I had to go through and I've never got step.
But you didn't have that 7 years experience here.
No,
No, I have
That
7
doesn't
years
matter.
experience.
When we vote to hire somebody at a higher
To bring in above base.
above grade, we're doing it because of their experience, not because they look nice.
Except,
Well,
well, okay.
You meant nine.
And then only one more point is for those employees that have maxed out on their steps, there is a thing called longevity
Right,
when they've been so many years in that position.
so they get for that.
Correct.
Yes, but we're adjusting for two different.
And we are just.
CSCA doesn't get,
Right.
I mean, M&C doesn't get that.
Longevity, yes.
They do?
Yes.
They get the same as the CSEA longevity?
Okay, it does match the CSEA rating, yes.
And, you know, there are a lot of times where as we all know, overtime doesn't apply to M&C
Right.
at that same level. And there are times when these employees are definitely probably hitting well over 40 hours per week.
Oh, yeah, I can name the number of departments right on
So it's a way to,
your department, I know you do.
to keep good employees engaged with the county. That's part of our strategy, that we did commit to when we started it with our salary study, and this is just a continuation of that. We implemented it step by step so that the budget wouldn't, you know, collapse under the weight of doing everything at once. But this is part of a years-long commitment to.
Yeah, and the other side of the coin is you could theoretically, you could hire a department head that is making less than one of their employees because they're hired at the lowest step.
Yeah.
And their employees at the top of their step. I mean, that happened to me multiple times in the state.
I worked 40 years like that.
Yeah, that. There's no magic wand that solves all those problems.
After this, do you envision any other issues with the salaries and steps or anything else going forward? Or do you think this is enough to fix the whole system?
For MNC, I think this should fix the whole system unless the county ever did a county-wide salary study again. But other than that, I don't think that there would be a problem with the system.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
You.
Okay. We are going to turn our attention back to Rob O'Brien.
Good morning.
Morning, Rob. You may go. Come on. You don't see you yet.
Are you in camouflage?
It's on. I am in camo, honestly, but
Actually, all we see is like a little white dot. It might be.
that's the top of my head. Hold on here.
Oh, you have
Actually,
your camera
now
turned off.
There we are.
You got me?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Morning.
What are you out hunting
Okay.
for? You heard you get them with a car anyway.
Squirrels. Squirrels, Keith.
Ouch.
Squirrels and turkeys.
Squirrels and turkeys.
Just a few things for you today. We're requesting permission to renew the contract with QuickMed Claims for EMS billing through 12/31 of 26 in an amount not to exceed $100,000.
So move.
Second.
Any questions or discussion for Rob on the renewal? We'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCartney,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, that motion passes.
Thank you. Requesting approval to transfer funds from 30/20/548-225 to 45/40/545-150 in an amount not to exceed 6,900, actually, in the exact amount of $6,900 for additional ambulance maintenance and repairs.
Second.
Questions or discussion on the transfer? That's the deer.
No deer. No deer.
Okay, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, that motion passes.
Thank you. And finally, requesting permission to contract with Bassett Medical Center for medical exams and hearing exams for new dispatchers hired into 911. Medical exams are running $105 a piece and hearing exams at $42.
Second.
Questions or discussion?
I have a question. don't we hire Bassett to do fireman physicals? Is this part of that or not?
Well, we tried that to fit it under that, and no, it does not, Keith. That contract's very specific to fire and EMS.
Okay. Oh, and because this is the dispatchers, so
Yes.
it could be
See
different.
that, but
Okay,
didn't know why it couldn't all be under one contract.
okay.
Well, I don't think they do the same evaluation, right? I mean, they're not gonna do a.
They have different phases of
Right.
it that they do. Different.
Right, fire and EMS would be different. This is all secondary to updates that came out of the New York State 911 board effective in January. We've got to start sending our prospective employees for medical hearing and psych exams. So we've got to, Bassett won't do this without the contract. Although with the latest requirements, I'm not sure we'll ever have anybody apply again, so.
Oh,
That's
Well,
another conversation.
we're just gonna go ahead and vote on this piece of it. Okay.
Thank you.
We'll go to vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty, Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini, Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, that motion passes.
I hate it. Strategic planning.
Okay. Thanks, Rob.
Thank you, folks.
I have Rob, I have a question.
Oh, Rob, we have a question?
Rob, you still need to move ahead with the budget mod for the SICG grant?
We're investigating that right now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, Rob.
Good luck.
Okay,
Thanks.
IT.
Good morning.
Good morning.
IT is requesting that we spend $15,426 to upgrade our Microsoft SQL servers out of budget code 546400, not to exceed $16,000.
So moved.
Okay. Questions or discussion for IJ? Okay, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini, Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, that motion passes.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank
Wow.
Okay.
Great. Come back
Great.
more often. You're back in the corner years.
Susan, we have a public defender up next. Oh, she's here. She is here in person.
I wasn't expecting.
These okay.
So a couple of items. First, I wanted to give an update on revenues. I'm just keeping this kind of on my agenda. Total revenues that we've received this year to today's date is $1,286,610.40. Our total local cost for both the public defender's office and assigned counsel is $250,032.59. And then we anticipate receiving about $275,000 before the end of the year for our next round of claims. I wanted to give an update on our rural law contract. So the rural law contract, we had passed a resolution this year for a contract for next year in the amount of $60,000. Then we went through the budget process and we made some cuts. And during that process, we cut $12,000 from that contract. After that, we did some more looking at some of our grant funds and we realized that distribution 13 is going to expire at the end of this year and we'll have an opportunity to extend it to use money that we would not otherwise be spent. We've talked with ILS and they're willing to extend that. We anticipate it's an extra $60,000. But all this to explain that we could, and PSLA sort of gave the green light on this. don't think we needed a resolution because we've already passed a resolution for this $60,000 contract, but I wanted to bring it up so that everybody's aware. We can actually go forward with that $60,000 contract.
At the 60K level or
The 60,
Yeah.
the 60K
Okay.
level, and it'll be fully grant
because
funded.
there's other funds. Oh, and it will be fully grant
Yeah.
funded. Great.
Before, we were gonna have to do $12,000 of local costs for
Right.
that contract, and now, because we looked at the money situation with this other grant, we don't have to do.
Okay. Is action needed?
I don't think so, because
don't
we already
think
have the
so.
resolution and it's.
And the money's already been accepted, so Yeah.
Well, you have to put the money forward and then we get, it
Every
back, but, we might have to do a budget transfer next year to cover that, which should be fine.
okay.
While we're talking about distribution 13, I'm just gonna skip to number 4. I would need a motion for this item. The motion to extend this contract period for distribution 13. We're estimating that we'll have about $60,000 in this grant that we have not used. And rather than have it expire, we'd like to try to use it. ILS is totally fine with that, and we've been working on them with them on what we would use it for. $12,000 would be used for the rollout contract. But since it's a new, like an extension of a contract, then we would need a new resolution. So I'm happy to answer questions if anybody has questions.
Some motion.
Second.
Okay, questions or discussion? Anything?
What else can you use it for? What I think we're gonna use it for is rent. Rent is a cost that we know we always have. We have more wiggle room with timelines in our statewide grant. So while this money is gonna be expiring, let's use it quick on something we know that we need it for. That's what I would anticipate.
The 60,000 for 26 has not been put in the 26 budget, correct?
That's correct.
And it wouldn't until we sign the contract, probably. When you get a grant from ILS, do you do anything administrative, like a purchase order for that full grant? I don't think you would.
No.
So next year, when we get it, we'll want to do a budget mod.
To add the 60,000 in.
Down to 60,000. And yeah, you could do that in conjunction with the 12,000 for the rural law center.
Okay. One other item that we got approval actually, there's a line called client services in many of the ILS grants. And that gives a little bit of money to pay for like random items that might come up. I've used them in the past for bus passes for clients. Use them to pay for clothing for clients who need to, like, if they have a trial, if they're in jail, they need to have clothing. One item that they just approved is gas cards. So there's some clients, who aren't on the bus line, who have access to a car. If they exhaust all their other resources, asking Department of Social Services for gas cards or Catholic Charities, if they exhaust those things, then ILS is willing to reimburse those types of costs. So that's a new thing that we're gonna try some gas cards for, to see how much we actually need to use them, and so just. Let's see, so that's that. The assigned council program update, that was basically approved during the budget process. So I'm bringing forward you folks to create, find, and fill the managing attorney position and the paralegal position. It would be contingent on the budget, going through. And it'll be filled, January. That's as early as it would start.
Questions or discussion? And do you have those pre-formed?
I do, Alan has I had brought them like a couple months ago. I don't have it in this packet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So they'll have to be circulated, but Penny had already signed off on that.
And
Yeah, I got it.
okay,
Okay.
It came up in PSLA, we approved it, I signed.
okay. So there exists, they exist, okay.
Where do you think it'll go trying to fulfill those positions?
I'm like a little superstitious, so I don't want to jinx anything. And I don't, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I think it's really important to find the right person.
You post them?
Yeah. We'll post it in January. But I think we want a dynamic, person for this managing attorney spot. So I'm hopeful. I don't think we should hire just anybody. But we'll see how it goes, I guess.
Okay. And the paralegal as well.
Yeah.
All right, so we will go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, that motion passes.
Then the first one, we didn't do a roll call vote.
Oh, do a roll call vote on the rural law contract, on the.
Correct. Yes, we had a motion in a second, but no.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
For distribution 13.
Oh, okay,
To extend that contract for another year.
that's right. And that's what you have. Oh, thank you, Loretta. Okay, we just moved right ahead to the next agenda. We will vote now on extending distribution 13 for 1 more year.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini, Marietta, absent, Keaton.
And then I just have 2 other little items that I wanted to make you aware of.
Okay.
Like to be aware of less.
No. Sorry, Adrian, that's fair.
So just because, the rural law contract, we've been talking about it. Right now for our 2025 contract, we've exceeded the 16 appeals that are in that contract. So that contract is $3,000 per appeal. So we were billed $3,000 for an additional appeal. So in that contract, if rural law has the capacity to, take on another appeal and give us the same price, they do. So that's an example of us going over the number of appeals that are in a contract. And I'll have to get with the county attorney's office to see if we need to do any, what we need to do to make sure just to pay that. I mean, we're paying it, but sort of above the contract price, but it's also kind of not because
Is there enough money in the budget line?
right now, yeah. I just don't know if I'll ask.
Okay.
And then the only other thing is the budget office brought to my attention, just so we're aware, that in the assigned council budget line to pay the assigned council for attorneys, their vouchers, there's a little less than $50,000 in that line right now. So, each year we typically go over that, go over the amount that's budgeted. We tweak the budget here and there to try to, see where it's gonna come in at. I would anticipate probably needing more than $50,000 through the end of the year. Just because we'll receive vouchers into January and those will be, backdated to this year. And I don't know when that date will end this year.
Probably gonna have to get together and talk about that, because normally you just take it out of contingent, and if you've been here earlier, there's been another office that has monopolized contingency. So we may have as much of that as you can shift around within your budget this year, as much as you can, and then we'll figure out how to do it.
All right, so.
But we probably ought to get together maybe in December
Okay.
to talk about it.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Tell them that if they don't get them in before the end of December, we're not paying
We
Wait till we hire the managing attorney. I can communicate that message.
Where was the lease
Just a little
space?
bit of inflation.
Yeah.
At 189, which floor did you get the lease space? First floor?
And I've reached back out to Ed May, waiting for a release from him, but, it's the Xlander space,
Right?
that he's proposing, so that's the space we're talking. But, and I did hear a little bit of discussion about the 730s, just, that's an ongoing cost. I'm happy to be a part of that conversation too. If I can be.
Oh, okay.
information
Yeah, would be,
helpful.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Susan. Okay, Mike, here.
He's on there.
Oh, Mike is on Zoom. So used to seeing you in person. Hi, Mike, we're ready for your session.
Okay, great. Thank you. I appreciate hire. I apologize I can't be there, but we had a mandatory off-site meeting, so
We
thank
would like
goodness for
to
Zoom.
see your face in person. It's part of our policy.
Okay. Bear with me.
Yes, we're happy to. Oh, there you are. Okay, good morning.
Good morning. How is everyone?
Good.
Great. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to present via Zoom here real quick. What I wanted to do today is provide an update to you where we are. Positive momentum. One thing that we have done is that the bottom coverages here that are renewing December 31st, we have finalized those. And you can see that's the crime, the excess healthcare liability, your employer's liability, and property and inland marine. Here we are is that they're expiring at 193,566, and they're renewing at this 194,273. What we still are in process of negotiating is this top section NYMER. And reason for that, we still are a month and a half out. We had hoped we would have it finalized. We're still collecting some information needed. And thanks again to Carol for all of her assistance with that. And also, we are negotiating with NYMER. As a reminder to everyone, what we've shown, NYMER publishes what their rate increases will be for their entire book of business. And I've shown those in here, 7.5% on the general liability, for instance, 4% on the umbrella liability, and then 15 on business auto. We have projected that out, and with those, it would show that there'd be an increase of from 308 to 333,000. Reality, though, is if I could, I will show you Otsego, your NYMER loss experience has been very favorable over the last few years. You're looking at your pay-in, and you can see that 2,500 back in 2020, and you can see each of the years. So what we are doing right now are in negotiation with NYMER to say we expect the projected rates, but would like experience rating credits given the county's favorable loss history over the past 5-year window. So we will have that by the December meeting, and that hopefully would be early December that we can meet. We certainly should have it even before then, and I'll share that with you once received. Apologize, it's just still in negotiation at this point.
So we don't have a number to put in, but could we do that by like a meeting on our December board meeting day?
Yeah, whatever works for you. I mean, we should have this within, a couple of weeks. By the end of November, I would think our first week of December. But right now, if we had to project it, is kind of worst case scenario would be where we are here with a 5% increase. We really want to work with NYMER though diligently further, just to say, hey, look, take into consideration the loss experience for the past 5-year window where it's been very profitable.
Yeah, we knocking on any wood around here to keep it going that way. But
Yeah,
I feel like we normally do vote on the number at our December meeting. Carol's not in the room, but when do we finalize it?
Tip-
Oh. So.
She's behind you.
Do you have it, how would we do this if we don't have the number today? When do we need the number by for you?
So I can tell you last year, I believe the committee approved it in December and it was actually a January resolution.
Okay, all right, so that's still a possibility. Okay, all right, that's all I needed.
Okay, all right, and hey, if I might, real quick, Meg, is that one thing just for the committee, we had mentioned it last time to kind of noodle on between now and our next meeting, is that we, as a reminder to everyone on the auto physical damage coverage for your fleet, the county self-insures that, has historically since 30 years and done well in that regard. We though have been insuring vehicles that are 75,000 and greater. So we do want to just get some feedback from you, perhaps at the next meeting, some thoughts about, do we want to increase, what is the threshold where we want to make sure we do purchase auto physical damage coverage? So that would be the one thing we do want to talk to you further about, just to get clarity on that.
Okay,
I think that's a good idea because these trucks are costing like $350,000 a piece,
Yeah. So, yeah, they are. And I will, I look at it and, one thing we're saying, if we were to say, not insure any vehicles below 75,000, because we have a few in there, I mean, we could get additional savings, another 8,000 or so, but I'll outline that. If we came back to you and said, okay, we insure vehicles of 100,000 and greater, perhaps we look at that and then you can evaluate it at that point. But I just wanted to mention it to you, just to think through.
yeah, so Carol will discuss and.
Yeah, that's fine. I think we also have to look at the age of the equipment as well.
Yes. Yeah,
Um,
great point, Carol.
Yes, because I believe on that list that we've been working with, there's, some of these pieces of equipment are 10 to 20 years old.
Yeah, and Carol, that's a great point because, with that on the current contract, anything insured on the physical damage that's 10 years old or newer is on a replacement cost. But then when you exceed the 10-year window, it's actual cash value, and a lot of depreciation would come into that.
So is this something that we have to decide today?
No.
This is just something that we should know about and be working on to come up with a strategy. Okay.
Yeah, and we'll show you. So we'll attach some numbers, premium reduction to it, just to give you a sense of that,
Okay.
Meg. And then definitely be back in person in December.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, sorry, it's just we had an off-site meeting scheduled a while ago, couldn't, so.
No, I'm glad you were able to
Apologies.
join us by Zoom. Okay. Thank you, Mike.
Okay, thank you for your time. Appreciate it. And we'll be in touch.
Okay, we'll see you soon.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye. Okay. Tammy. Nicole. Morning. Good morning, Tammy.
Couple of transportation items and one solid waste item today. The first two are regarding our Otsego Express contract that the last extension is the end of this year, so we put out an RFP. We received one response. And based off of budgetary discussions with IGA and what's in the tentative budget, we are looking to award routes 1, route 2, route 3, 4, route 5, route 6, and not award route 12. So the first resolution pertains to some of the logistics of not awarding route 12 and therefore discontinuing it. Route 12 is a one-way route. It does a single afternoon run to accommodate the end of a shift. And it goes through Richfield Springs, Cooperstown, and Edmiston. It is our least utilized route, especially, looking at it, the cost to operate it for the ridership. So it's not heavily utilized. It does impact a few people. So in order to move ahead without Route 12, DOT requires a notice period. And so DOT gets around 30 days to review it, and then we have to put out a 30-day notice. At the time of IGA, we were feeling that that notice period was going to go out into January. And so in speaking with Dan Hammer and DOT, we wanted to extend this current contract simply for those purposes, only for Route 12, to expire no later than January 31st or upon completion of our public notice period, so we could sufficiently meet the notice requirements. I'm going to request that today, but looking at how things are progressing with talking with DOT, I actually think we're going to probably be able to complete our notice period within the term of this before the end of 2025. So we may not need to do this, but I'm requesting it today in case we need to put that resolution request in. Yeah, go right ahead, Nicole.
So, yeah, so we were expecting DOT to maybe take, well, I was, worst case scenario, maybe the whole 30 days, but they were pretty immediate with their response. So they did approve us to put out a public notice. However, I'm currently just making sure that our public notice is as detailed as possible in terms of which route exactly is going to be cut, because Route 2 and Route 12 are very similar. So I was thinking if the later route is actually more accommodating, we would just kind of merge Route 12 and Route 2 and just use the Route 12 as a replacement for Route 2's PM run. I've been writing the routes to double check on this, and it does seem like Route 2 is actually pretty good as is. However, I just want to make sure that with any public notice, I'm as detailed as like what the PM route is really going to look like moving forward. So I'm meeting with Bernie on Friday morning to go over just the finalized version of Route 2 that we're going to go with for the upcoming year. So, but even with that, we will probably be able to make that public notice by at least the beginning of next week. So we'll have enough time to not have to go into 2026 for that.
This is just a case, and then if because DOT did have some follow-up questions, so
Okay.
while we did get their approval, it was with some contingencies, so then if we don't need it, I just won't submit the resolution request.
So Representative Wilbur, you're motioning?
I have some questions.
Okay, so let's do
First, I'd
a
like
motion.
to, I'm sorry.
We'll do a motion in a second and then.
So-
discuss.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll leave a second.
Okay, all right. Question.
So first, I want to applaud you for writing the routes so you get firsthand knowledge and experience on how they're impacting the constituents. But Route 12, you said that's accommodates a shift.
Mhm.
So I'm assuming the people that are utilizing that are probably employed somewhere and utilizing that. So you have a number of how many that affects?
Two.
Two, okay.
That's an average of like two.
So I understand the cost versus benefit, right? But those two people are people.
Yeah.
So is there any other thinking outside the box to accommodate them? Or, I mean, do we know that they have to depend on that route? Do they have access to transportation other than that?
From when I've ridden Route 12, the two passengers that I've seen, they go back to either somewhere in Edmiston or Richfield Springs to a vehicle. So it's either they're being picked up by somebody or they're going into a vehicle and just kind of decreasing their own
Okay.
transportation. So it wouldn't completely strand them as far as I've noticed.
We
And
reach out to them?
Well, that's something that public comment.
yeah,
Okay, okay.
we'll
I would
post
think.
inside the bus.
Because,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. So that's,
I don't know if we can do it within a contract, but can we contract with, say, a local taxi company and take two people in a smaller vehicle?
and so Route 12 is basically Route 2 accommodates NYCM employees.
Right, that's
And
what I was
Route
thinking.
12 accommodates Bassett employees, because 4:30 is a common out time for Bassett. So I was even thinking Bassett would be notified as well in this public comment period, because maybe they could provide some kind of solution, because Bassett does have some form of
Okay.
transportation, so if
All
it
right.
became.
So there's a mechanism there to hear these people.
Right,
Okay.
and even schedule change, so maybe these
Right.
employees could take their earlier bus.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
that is.
I just don't want to just dismiss, oh, it's only two people.
Yeah.
No, I don't want
Might
to
be,
either, yeah.
you know, that might be their only,
Yes.
Appreciate that, yeah.
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 But we'll learn through the public comment, hopefully.
Okay, yep. All right, any other comments or questions before we vote on that? Okay, we'll go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, so that motion passes and
The next one is to award the Otsego Express contract for 2026 to 2030 with 2 one-year extensions. We have the proposal from Bernie Bus. That is a total of $739,130 for year 1 with a 3.5% annual increase built into each year. It's primarily funded with federal and state funds. We do have a small local match. That's, I should have had this pulled up, but for year 1, should be less than 50,000 for local match, but I apologize, I should have had that pulled up. Do it real quick.
Oh, is it this good?
Yes, that is our evaluation sheet. Yeah, so we provided the pricing pages and the evaluation sheet because the entire proposal was like 150 pages or something like that. So basically what we came down to with evaluating Bernie Bus was making sure that they were able to maintain the staffing because we are moving a Route 6 that was previously or currently being operated by OpenP. We're now moving that under, bless you, under Bernie Bus, so making sure that they have the capabilities to be able to ramp up staff and they have a driver in the pipeline for that. So that was our primary concern with them.
Did you talk to OPT about that change?
Yeah.
Yes, they didn't want to do that. Okay. Yeah.
all right, so do we want to have a motion to award the Otsego Express contract and then continue our discussion? Motion and second.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. So there we are now with the resolution. Tammy, continue on your with the amounts or whatever you had left to tell us.
Yes, sorry. I'm thrilled that I did not pull up the way I wanted to. Okay, yes, so it would bring our local share to 65,915 for the first year with the eliminating Route 12 and factoring in the state and federal funds. So it's a $739,000 contract with approximately $65,000 local match.
Okay. Any questions for Tammy on the Bernie Bus contract? Hearing none, we will go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Aye.
McCarty,
Aye.
Wilbur,
Aye.
Martini.
Aye.
Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, so that motion passes.
And the last one is an amendment to resolution 370. That was the resolution that set the tip fees for 2026 at SWEC this month. Casella brought to our attention that the landfill in 2026, where our waste is taken, will start to charge $55 per mattress. So we have the mattress recycling program. So the question would be, why are we bringing mattresses to the landfill? So occasionally there are mattresses that are mixed in with a dumpster and have been sitting in that dumpster for quite some time and get so saturated with all the other things that are placed in that dumpster that they're not able to be recycled. So it's not something that, it happens all the time, but it would start to add up, if we were getting charged that $55 a unit for the ones that we couldn't recycle. So, the idea was to add that to our, fee schedule, so that if somebody brings in a mattress that is just so, completely saturated with other waste that we can't recycle it, there's a way to account for the charge, we'll get it to landfill. And then Casella has the ability to itemize for the dumpster companies so that they're able to pass that charge on to their customers. So they're not hit with a surprise $55 charge.
Second.
Questions or discussion on the,
I'm a little confused over that. So it doesn't get recycled. The contaminated mattress,
Yes,
so it just goes to
Landfill.
yep.
We pay landfill fees by weight, and
So
$55 is half of a one-time charge, right?
they would add that onto it. It would be an added charge of $55 per mattress.
Understood.
Okay.
What I'm asking is, how is that fair or equitable if it's just waste? If it's municipal solid waste, at $55 for one mattress, when it is nowhere near half a ton, and we're charging tipping at 107, where does that $55 come from? Yeah,
maybe just as a deterrent.
Yeah, why are they, if it's not recyclable,
Yeah.
why isn't it just tossed in with the other garbage and there it is like that weight? Right?
how do we substantiate the extra cost for it when we're
No,
charging
I
by
agree
weight?
with that.
That's what I'm.
So the landfill's charging us that $55 now in 2026. As of 2026, they will be assessing an additional $55 for every mattress.
That was the answer.
Yep.
Somebody else is charging us for that.
Yes, yes. So we're
But it is a
passing
lot
that
for them to
charge.
charge
It
us.
seems so.
It must be.
I think they just
disproportionate when you look at
They
it.
just
So I guess the bigger question is if the charge is $55, what are they doing with it? Are they just throwing it on the heat?
That's.
But I think they don't want to have many. Maybe
Yes,
it's
I
just a
think
way
their
to
ultimate
deter.
goal
I
is.
got you.
Yeah.
No, the mattress
Stop
box
doing
springs was 45 if they're recyclable,
Mm-hmm,
55 if they're not.
yes.
Okay.
But another thing is, they're trying to keep them out of there.
Yeah.
No,
And a lot of contractors are throwing them in dumpsters and just burying them in there. In the
Yeah,
sea.
so I guess if you think of it that way, sooner or later, the message will get out there. It's cheaper to recycle it than it is to.
And I think they've been bringing some in from other counties. Wasn't there something? I don't know, they were getting a lot of them.
I still am shocked that so many to begin.
295 last month,
In a month,
in a month.
Where are they coming?
where are they coming from?
They gotta be coming from hotels, colleges or whatever, I
At
don't
least
know.
They're
If they
getting
were in
recycled.
session, they would.
No, I mean, it's great that they're getting
Yeah.
recycled. I just
We just,
figure out where they're coming from, that's all. I'm really curious, not.
I mean, don't you change your mattresses every month?
Well, the other
They tell you
unfortunate thing,
where
I
they
do see
come
them
from,
occasionally.
whether it's a commercial or a residential person.
If
They keep
I
track of
can't
that.
imagine it's residential.
there are, of the mattresses we've taken in so far, at least 45% of them have been commercial. And I say at least because if they pay in cash, we don't know. But a lot of the commercial entities have an account with us, so 45% were paid with an account, not cash.
Thank you.
so we do want to still vote on it.
Check the
Anything,
mattresses for money?
anything else between the way of comment? We'll go to a vote.
So, wait a minute,
Oh, wait, okay.
this is what we're passing, right, this resolution?
Yeah, we're amending the resolution to include,
Okay, the 55 is not on there, on the price list, should it be or not?
that was just, I just included the resolution so you could see the original resolution.
Okay.
And then we'll amend it to include unrecyclable mattresses due to excessive contamination at $55.
Okay, great, all right,
Okay, now we will go to a vote.
Kennedy,
Yes.
McCarthy,
all
Wilbur,
right.
Martini, Marietta absent, Keaton.
Okay, that motion passes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both.
Tammy, before you go, are you Can you give us a brief update of the leachate discussion that may have occurred?
Sure. So
That was last Friday?
Friday, yep. So Friday, Kyle and I went to Montgomery County to have a meeting on the leachate pipe discussion. It was a kickoff meeting with Barton and Judas, so Montgomery County did sign the contract with Barton and Judas. Regardless of kind of where we stood on whether or not we were going to commit officially to being part of the project. The mood was pretty positive, so I think they understood that we need to see some real hard figures before we can really commit something like that, or even be able to make a decision of whether we're going to commit to a project like that. And really stress the need to understand that we need to right size the tank. And understand what, from there, after right sizing the tank, what needs do we have? There were folks from Montgomery Planning there as well, and so one of the thoughts that we had in hearing from Barton and LaJudas, they basically said, which is kind of a little strange to me, but once the leachate in the pipeline on the property is considered leachate. Once it crosses the property line and hits the regular sewer line, it's just considered sewer. Which was a little interesting, but I said, considering that, could we treat it more like a sewer line extension project and less like a leachate project that might open us up to more grant funds? Because one of the things that Barton just had said was, well, we're going to apply for more grants next year. I said, well, what grants are you going to apply for? Because I'm not aware of any that fund leachate pipes. And they didn't have that. So I said, well, we have to wait to see what the CFA priorities. My response is the CFA priorities are usually pretty consistent, and we're probably not going to get surprised with a surprise leachate grant. So how can we think a little more creatively? So I think that's worth looking into, is how can we fund this project with a sewer line, frame it from that standpoint, and see if there's anybody along that line from an economic development standpoint that maybe we can spin it that way. Then, and the other thing that we were all tasked with was talking to our congressional representatives. So I did, I was at a housing conference for Southern Tier 8 on Tuesday, and someone from Riley's office was there. So I asked them about it, and it's not physically in Riley's district, but it does benefit taxpayers in Riley's district. So their recommendation, and I still need to talk with the MOSA folks about this, was to see if we can request representatives from the 3 different congressional districts represented to actually sit down in a room together and figure out if there was a way to get some joint funding. So that's sort of where I've left off with that so far.
On the sewer aspect, right? I wouldn't go through CFA. I mean, you can,
Yeah.
but EFC.
Yes.
Or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would not go the CFA route. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Dan.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you for going to that.
Yeah.
Right. Alan.
Ellen.
Here I am.
Ellen behind you.
County treasurer.
Yes, so hopefully my agenda is actually pretty quick today. But no, I'm sure we're gonna have a discussion about the auction, but anyway. I'm sure we'll do it at the end, but I do have to have an executive session, regarding what Denise had talked about earlier with the auction. I don't know, so talking about this deferred comp plan, because we're talking about vendors, I don't know if we want to also do that in executive session.
Maybe we do.
Or else
I feel like we
content
should.
specific.
Yeah, just for the vendor.
Yeah.
So then we'll just do that in executive session, it'll be quick. The thing I have on my agenda is I just need to transfer $1,000 from contracts to lodging. Usually I can just have Steve do that because it's under 20 and I haven't transferred it all out of the line, so.
We don't have to vote. on it.
Yeah, I just wanted to make the
Okay.
committee aware.
Just getting up here.
I have 22 Maple Street on my list. However, I did find out this morning that we did receive the court order to have that pulled from the auction because of the 19A filing. I just was never notified that we received the court order. So now that I have it, we have notified, we have put that on file, so we have
So
documentation.
that notification or the filing was from what, Leona?
The town of the village of Butternuts.
Oh, Butternuts.
Village of Butternuts.
There was a
Yeah.
Gilbertsville.
Sorry, yes, I'm sorry. Village of Gilbertsville, Butternuts, not Village. Village of Gilbertsville, town of Butternuts. They did file it.
That may.
They started the filing back in October. It was officially filed November 3rd, but like I said, I just didn't receive it until this morning.
That's that burnout, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And we are working with the town to do an IMA to essentially, when they sell it, to pay us back the taxes. I have the taxes calculated right now that we were owed of $12,071.96 for 4 years of taxes, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25, sorry, 5 years of taxes. But the village is amenable to that when it's sold to give us back that tax amount. And then all I did was I provided a cash spend update in my email. So what I did this time, I learned that you can pull this very quickly in Munis, except it pulls a couple different things. So I just pulled it again while I was sitting here. So currently, right now, we are in a $12 million deficit between what we spend and what we bring in. So when you do some analysis, just so everyone's clear, since 2022, we average 82.9% of spending our total budget expenditures. And we average 96.78% of collecting all our revenues. So essentially, we do really good collecting revenues. Essentially, we over budget expenditures, which we've all known. I know Steve's been saying that for a long time. We all know that. So if you kind of put a ratio together to kind of see where we're going to end the year, so I did this in two different ways. I essentially said, here we are now. Let's say we spend this year 91% of our expenditures. I just told you the average number about $84. We should end the year at about $144.4 million in expenditures. If we take that number to the budget, we should end the year at about $155.3 million in expenditures. So there's a window there based on where we are now, based on the budget. So we got, about $11 million difference. If we run that same projection to revenues, where I'm only using on revenues now, I'm only using 95%, where we usually collect 97, 98%. So I'm going to go conservative on that side as well. We should end the year at about $149.3 million in revenues. And if you base it on the budget, it literally comes up to the exact same within $20,000. So if we take into account the budget and not where we are, we're going to end the year in about a $5 million deficit, slightly less. If we take into account where we are now, we should end the year in about a $5 million surplus. You can see there's a window there.
Yeah.
So
a lot in between.
Yeah, well, between 5 and 5, and this is running two different scenarios.
Right.
So
Vanesky is the third scenario. This is why Alan and I constantly talk about up or down, up or down, up or down. Ugh.
Yes. So Vanesky, I know, has their own scenario, but like I said, I'm within a $5 million surplus to a $5 million deficit.
And you won't actually know that until what, mid-year?
We're not going to know probably till about March or April. So right now it looks bad. We're sitting at a $12 million deficit. I will tell you that all of the revenues come in at the end of December and January, whereas the spending, essentially all of that spending, that number I just gave you, includes everything that still needs to be paid. So there's only 3 weeks left before. I know there's those trickle ins, but big spend, there's only like.
Did Rich get all
3
his
weeks left
reimbursements in for CHIP? Because that's due by December 21st.
And that'll come in. So yes, that doesn't account that. That's why I said a lot of the revenues
there's
come
$4
in.
million right there.
Yeah. There's a lot of revenues that come in at the end of the year, which is why, like I said, it looks bad. Like you're like $12 million, oh my God, it's gonna be $18 million. All those revenues, like I said, because of the different fiscal years, they're all gonna come in. We average roughly over the last 3 years, we average about $140 to $141 million every year in revenues. Even if we get that minimum and you run out of 144, I mean, we're still not going to end in a $20 million deficit, is what I'm saying. It's where Vanesky said,
The 26 budget, is built on a deficit, I believe, of just 3.8 million, which was, I think, the same or very close to what we did last year.
Yeah, 2024, yeah, so just, yeah, 2024 was 3.65.
Right. So it's basically on the same thing. So we're hoping it will. What this means is potentially when we start doing the 27 budget, our fund balance, which is really probably below what it needs to do a heavy debt load, this problem may be fixed for us in May. It may also get a little bit worse, but
Depending on, because the appropriate fund balance was significantly reduced in 2026.
yeah,
And if we continue that trend in 2027 to reduce that, this deficit, yes, last year, this year may reduce down to back to where it was.
Yeah.
Is the big thing. So like I said, right now, you know, I'm looking within a $5 million window, which is essentially worst case scenario, essentially where we ended last year. We don't want to end in that scenario. But that's kind of what I have. And I use conservative numbers, so we'll see what happens.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and then, you know, I've got the sales tax update. So right now, sales tax, just so we can just put it out there. We're currently about 970,000 more today where we were last year, so about $1 million more. Roughly 2% higher. And, you know, we trend, you can look at this list that I sent, we trend higher every pay, and then we get those quarterly reconciliations and we get blasted. I don't know if I put this out last time, but I did speak with the Department of Taxation and Finance, Adam Keurig, super smart guy who runs this, and he basically said that huge loss right there was because of somebody that, I don't know, imagine, paid in sales tax all of these years, and then filed a claim saying he wasn't supposed to pay sales tax. And they basically reimbursed like 3 years of sales tax that he paid in one. And that was
that in Otsego County?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So that was the majority of, so that loss of $1.4 million, the majority of that was because of that. And like I said, he didn't tell me exactly who, you know, I can only, I'm not supposed to say he didn't even tell me, he just said that that's what happened. The taxpayer had paid in all 8 years and basically said, I shouldn't be doing that. The state found that true, and they basically said, instead of paying back in installments, they said, boom, one lump sum, there you go. Hence why we had the,
I don't think it was Dan. It wasn't me.
well, whoever did it, I mean, $1 million in sales tax or that's a lot of money. So it was a bigger one. So that's kind of the big one. Hopefully,
he just bought.
yeah. Hopefully we don't see that happen again, but that's kind of what, I mean, right there, it took us down $1.5 million. So sales tax is still looking decent. Again, I still stick by
$1.5 million. Let me know.
Yeah, I still stick by essentially, hopefully it's going to be higher with the occupancy tax now doing the sales tax. I am seeing that Airbnb is charging it now. We haven't received any remittances yet from this. Well, we may have received it from the state, but I haven't received any documentation from Airbnb or VRBO that says, here's all the people like they're supposed to be providing. It's because they're, well, no, they're litigating again, saying they shouldn't have to do that. So, that is yeah, that's kind of a pain.
Part 1 is getting the money. Part 2 is getting the list.
Yeah, so at least hopefully we'll get the money. You know, I updated some of this just where we are in investments. So we still have right now $14 million in investments. We got another $8.5 million sitting in a high yield savings account. So we're still sitting on 22 million there, plus some other random accounts. The only thing that I think this board needs to be aware of, I know Steve's aware of it. He definitely got angry when he saw the email, but it's, you know, I would too. Our retirement bill was $5.2 million this year. And I went to, it's usually around 4 or 3.8. And then I went to the NISAC conference, that one-day conference back last month. And the comptroller had put out projections of where retirement is heading. They're talking between a 14 and a 20% increase every single year through 2030 on retirement. So you can imagine that by 2030, 5 years, if they do even 15%, that retirement bill is gonna be about 8 or 9.
This is because the New York State retirement plan is fully vested. So other people have forwarded me articles about other states' retirement plans being possibly not there when the people retire. And I forwarded it to NISAC and they said, well, that New York State's plan is fully vested.
Yeah, and I'm not saying the plan is great. The
This
plan
is
is
what
great.
it looks like
But-
to have a vested.
So, you know, in,
And
you know,
there's also demographics, like there's a huge wave of folks retiring.
that's happening, and
If salaries go up, you're gonna get more money. You gotta have more
Yep,
money to pay.
so that is actually what happened. I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but basically what we were told that, you know, the comptroller's office admitted was that back in 2019, 2020, municipalities, all the way from the village level, all the way up even to the state level, increased salaries because they were losing a whole bunch of people to the private sector. You can work from home, you get paid
Just like
more,
we did.
you do all of this. So government, not just this county, governments across the state increased rates to attract people back. The comptroller's office wasn't ready. So essentially what they're doing these next 5 years is they're catching up from not raising rates then. So as you think of like the tax levy and stuff, just know that, oh yeah, we can only charge 2%, go up $400,000, but our retirement bill is going up $1 million a year for the next couple years.
And he hasn't even started talking about healthcare.
Then we need,
Yeah,
we need to lobby the state to exempt that
From
from the 2%.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah,
If somehow exempt
absolutely.
that is, yeah, that should be exempted from this because that's just gonna hammer that 2%.
It has nothing to do.
Yeah, so when I know that, you know, when I was talking back with Steve and I sent in those projected invoices, we're like, oh yeah, retirement's probably gonna be, you know, $4 million like it was, and we got the bill 2 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, 5.2, okay, well,
That is a larger number.
that is a much larger number than what we had projected, and they basically said, make sure you plan for about $1 million increase every single
Right.
year.
Okay.
That's when after I got angry, that's when I went home and just started crying.
There's no crying in budgeting. Did you know that?
Oh,
That's why I went home.
Yeah.
So anyways,
Budgeting and you could.
I just wanted to let everyone know that,
So what department is that?
I don't have, unless anyone has any questions for the treasurer as the real property, I don't have anything specific other than I think the office is doing well. We've got the Board of Assessment Review already scheduled. I got added to the listserv. The state accepted me in, and I'm on all the lists. We've updated all of our lists that hadn't been updated since like 2015 of users in the V4 state system. So we've got that updated. I mean,
When Joe got that straightened out the other day?
yep, we got that straightened out. I sent out an email today. So if any of you hear from your town tax collectors, we spend a lot of money and a lot of time printing every single tax roll for every single town. And it's in the statute. And after I've been on this real property director, listserv, a lot of them do it electronic now. So I sent an email in the morning to tax collectors like, hey, we're going to save a ton of money. We're just going to provide this electronically to you. I assume a lot of them are going to be angry, but it
And then
is.
they print.
If they want, you don't have to print them. That's the thing. If they want to print, they can print it
On their paper.
on their, or like I said, for us to print all the tax rolls, the real property has those 3 printers back there that are slowly going down. But one person's there printing an entire tax roll, sitting there, then binding it, then hole punching to make sure, like it's just, it's a lot of time also on that. But it is in statute. You can do electronically and a lot of marketing electronic. We've made no inlets in a possible shared services. Other counties around us don't seem to be as interested in that aspect.
What about Schoharie?
So,
Have you talked to them at all?
I don't know if Joe did. I think so. I reached out to Herkimer. I want to say that I did reach out to Schoharie.
Joe seems to think.
But
that-
Schoharie is our prior real property director.
Pardon me?
Our Schoharie is our prior real property.
Yeah.
Director, who she's still trying to get her feet wet. So I do believe that Joe did talk to her. She's kind of worried about taking on 2 at the
Too
same time.
much?
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, she's still even getting her license for being the director and taking the classes, so.
I really think we ought to just start looking for a new candidate because it's gonna become more and more difficult to find people to fill that position.
We can. The state is looking, like I said, they did approve me. They're looking at my qualifications if I could do it full time. I have no idea if that was just one avenue. But other than that, like I said, we could all have a discussion with the real property office, see how they feel is doing it down there next month. If it's running well, if it's not running well.
And by then you'll have maybe some feedback on the people who were investigating.
That's going
your
through legal and
questions for
everything.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could also, the counties may not be interested in shared services, but you could also, there are some directors that are interested in simply like a contractual thing, like here, listen, you're not gonna need me much, but if you need me, I'll $50 an hour, $100, whatever it is. And you just kind of like, you get a budget of like $3,000 when you get something crazy, like, oh my God, what is this? And it can't be answered in the listserv. Maybe you had them come down and do it. You contract with them for an hour or so, or whatever it is. That's just another idea that popped up from one of the directors.
Retainer people.
Yeah, just a small, and
Almost like an attorney.
yeah, so far during tax season, when it's kind of busy, we haven't had anything pop up that I haven't been able to answer through the listserv, or Joe wasn't able to call Orbs, or Larry wasn't able to, look online and find something in V4. So we haven't had anything crazy yet where we would need something, but
Yeah.
it's just another idea.
There were some trainings that Joe had mentioned that they would need to have before the March 1st tax deadline. And I don't know if I wrote it down, but I can continue that conversation with you.
Yeah, and like I
After
said,
they get the trainings that they.
and even if, so I got a list of trainings also, even if the staff down there, and even if just the acting for 6 months, even if there were some basic classes that we took on there so that, hey, we know how to do this stuff, that could work out as well. And the county just pays, the trainings are usually between $1,500, you pay $50 or $100 for a training so that they can get it versus, trying to hire someone whole new, you just get some training in. That could be also.
Yeah. So we'll get the answers to your questions. We'll think about, I think there's a lot to be said for having a director who's down there, who's very
Yep.
engaged and a good leader. So there would be a lot of qualifications that we'd want to look at for us, even though the state's qualifications are just
Yeah,
pretty
the minimum.
basic.
We don't even have an assistant director, do we?
Now there's
So,
No, we have-
again, we went through the motions to get a director and assistant director.
Yeah.
If something happens to the director,
And you could, like I said, you could, as Mr. Wilbur was saying, you could post it out there and see what you get, just because maybe you get 10 candidates, and you're like, no, these guys all are
yeah, you can.
not good, and then you just don't hire anybody.
Right.
But it would be good to see what the staff down there feels as well. Maybe, and I don't know the qualifications, I'm not gonna pretend, but maybe they qualify as a deputy, and there could be I don't,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll-
Even if we can get an assistant director in there, it'd be better than nothing.
Yeah.
And they can start working towards their whatever.
Next thing, what comes next?
Yep, taking all those classes in there. So, and I have the list of classes. They were able to get me registered for some of the classes. I'm just not taking any of the classes yet until we hear back from legal, because if I take the classes and they're like.
Information.
Stuff. Yeah, I know, right? So that is,
We'll give that a little bit of time.
Yeah.
We'll,
see what happens.
okay.
Right now, I don't think they're going crazy down there. Like I said, we've been handling things. It's been
Busy,
fun,
so.
especially the busy time during tax season.
Have we reached the part of your agenda where we need to go into executive session?
Yeah, my agenda's done unless anyone else.
The auction
Oh,
Oh,
that is an excellent, we should probably have an auction update, best.
Oh,
So
yeah.
as all of you
I
know,
have a separate question that should be
Okay.
open.
Okay.
as all of you know, the auction was supposed to be today. There has been no signature yet from the judge, so we can't have an auction. The auction got pushed back to December 3rd. Still no signature. They get up to 30 days, so they don't have to sign it right away. So we may have to push that back. It depends on what happens. Because like I said, with a new, law that we all know about, they get up to, it might be 60 days to sign. I've also got a lot of phone calls that, oh, you don't have a listing posted online, you're out of compliance. There is no law that says you have to have a listing up on any website 30 days. It's just Absolute Auction just says, usually we post a list within 30 days. There's no law that says that. I've talked to several taxpayers and I explained to them there's no law and they're fine with it. They can at any time foil a list though.
Yeah.
So some of them had said list, and then when I send the list, I'm like, this is not final. Like I said, and we'll talk in executive session, but we are sitting on some lawsuits about some of this stuff. So if we go post something online and there's a pending lawsuit, we could even get in more trouble for having that online. So that's why we haven't put a list out there yet.
Thank you.
But yes, like I said, anyone can foil a list, and when people foil a list, send them the list and say, hey, this is not final, just so you know.
So there's a disclaimer that goes with everything.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and we talked to Absolute, like, hey, you take that off your site, and they said they put some sort of thing like, this is not a law, it doesn't have to be 30 days, we just try to get up within 30 days. But as soon as we kind of finalize everything and final these last few things we'll talk about in executive sessions, when we will get a list out there. I'm still hopeful for December 3rd, but I'm not optimistic. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Total sense.
There are right now approximately 150 properties, give or take 2 or 3, because of what we're going through right now. On average, since about 2017, we only take about 50 properties to auction every year. So the fact that we're taking 3 years and there's 150 properties, I know it's a huge auction, but it's about average for what we're looking at. And I know Steve had a question, probably outside of the auction. Are there any auction questions?
Thank you.
Yeah, mine's not an auction question. So we're gonna go out into the bond market for the Southern Transfer Station, and that's got a dedicated revenue stream to pay for it. So that's fine. But we are thinking about going out again for some other stuff. My question is, do we put in the budget the expected debt service for that?
So we usually, we've always, not that we've ever had a lot of debt service, but I know I work, with the city, their current they put in. Usually don't put new stuff in because we want to go out and do this. Let's go out and do this. We're going to do it in February, whatever it is. Let's get all set. Something happens and we can't get it in there. Now we kind of put this in the budget and it's not. So what you do is this is what we've been told anyway. You don't put it in the budget. And then if it happens, February, March, April, all you do is like, look, we just got $10 million from a ban and it's going to be spent on roads. So let's increase highway revenue, $10 million. Let's increase roads, $10 million.
So you put it into the budget at that time.
You do it as budget model. Yeah, you do it as a budget model.
Okay, all right.
That's kind of the easiest way to do it because maybe we go out for $10 million right now. So we put $10 million in the budget and then it comes back and we're only approved for 6. Now we put in.
Okay.
Well, especially now, it's.
Okay, and you can
it's very
follow up with
confusing.
Alan, I think,
Yeah.
on that.
Thank you.
Line.
That's a conversation.
Customers through them. You had a question? Sorry, I missed out. There's a. Maybe they're okay.
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, so we go, hopefully, you have
When
the
we,
executive
if we
session.
go into executive session to discuss the deferred comp, do
I think
we-
both of them should go as contracts.
I know,
also.
do we need to come back out and vote on anything?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So then when we go into executive session, we can mention that we'll be adjourning from the executive session. And are we ready to do that at this point? Is there anything else for the open session? With Alan? Okay. All right. Do we have a motion and it's for the medical financial credit?
I think, what's contract related, essentially,
Okay,
which would probably be that one.
or pending litigation? for
Yes,
the-
ooh, that's a good
Okay,
one.
for the.
That is.
Like that one.
Not a good sign that you're excited about it.
enter executive session for the reason of D, discussions regarding proposed pending or current litigation, and F, medical, financial, credit, or employment history of a particular person or corporation or matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. And of note, we will be adjourning from the executive session. There's nothing that we need to come out with. Okay.
And if Denise, I would obviously invite her in.
Oh, okay.
Recording stopped.
Denise